Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Avengers Doomsday casting announcement. There's plenty to discuss for today's video. I know that most of you guys already know exactly who is going to be in this movie. You guys have already seen the list, but I do want to talk about something more important. It's going to be about Marvel generating the hype for Avengers Doomsday. Because keep in mind, if we go back 4 years ago, or let's just say 3 years ago, we used to call this movie Avengers the Kang Dynasty. And around that time, when we were talking about Avengers the Kang Dynasty, the hype around this movie was not so high. Everybody had questions and they asked who is going to be the brand new Avengers team, who is going to be the main villain. Is it Kang? Kang is not really doing it for us. What's going to be the story? The hype was very little through the years of 2022, 2023, and 2024. And we also knew that after Avengers the Kang Dynasty, we would get Avengers Secret Wars. So the general consensus about this move that Marvel made 3 years ago was, okay, let's just skip the Kang Dynasty. This movie is just going to be something to forget, and let's just move on towards a Secret Wars where we can see everybody, all the cameos in the world, and everybody's going to be happy. And we just move on from the Multiverse saga and go to the Mutant saga. That was the general consensus, and that is what the public felt about the Avengers at that time. And the reason why it's important to call this out is because fast forwarding 3 years later, we now call this movie Avengers Doomsday. And we know that the main antagonist for Doomsday is Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, which does generate the hype to infinite levels. And now we have so many theories and speculations on what could go on in this movie. The world wants to see Robert Downey Jr. portray Doctor Doom. And not just that, but I believe that what Marvel have done here with their promotion to announce the castings in a 4-hour live video, I do think it does generate even more hype. It really does. I believe that Marvel have done an amazing job on trying to market this movie to make the people say, oh my god, I need to go see this movie. Oh my god, the other two movies coming before this, which is Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, I have to go see those movies because these characters and these teams, they're going to be included in the main cast of Avengers Doomsday, just like what they have showed us during the live session. To me, in my opinion, it's a game-changing promotional stunt. I believe that this live stream that Marvel have done, it was more than just an announcement. It was a strategic masterstroke that reignited the excitement for the MCU in a way that we have not seen since Avengers Endgame. Yes, I understand that when we talked about Kang Dynasty 2 years ago, we're like, okay, fine, we'll go watch it. It's probably going to be making some money, but there was no real passion coming from the fans that made us connect with whatever story Marvel was trying to show us. With Doomsday now, there is a huge interest. There is a lot of passion coming from us. Yes, there is some opinions that go up against Avengers Doomsday. Some people do not like to see the Russo brothers return, Robert Downey Jr. return. They also did not like these few missteps that the MCU have had over the past 2 or 3 years. But this event has single-handedly made Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four way more relevant and more anticipating than ever before. Because when you look at the roster and you look at this list, yes, we do see Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Anthony Mackie as Captain America. But as you go further down this list, you can see that the Thunderbolts are going to be there. The full Fantastic Four cast is also going to be there. They're going to be fully present. And so now this makes these next 2 movies coming from Marvel infamously way more important because they are going to be having huge roles. I also believe this is going to be rebuilding the MCU's momentum from here moving forward. I mean, like, look at what's going on with Daredevil Born Again. It's a killer show. Everybody likes it. Everybody fell in love with episode 6 and people are hyped. And moving forward from here all the way into the end of Secret Wars, the momentum is going to be massive. It also does create a lot of anticipation for this film, even for the ones who have left post Endgame. All those characters that were either retired or they died, they're going to be making a return. I'm going to be giving out my own theory and speculation on why I believe they showed us the characters and actors that they showed us during this live session in just a few minutes, because I believe that all of this, it is very strategic. It does tell us a story, but once again, I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But the last point I do want to make in regards to their marketing and why they did the live session that they did is because this is going to be the end of C tier and B tier MCU films. There were millions, and I mean like hundreds of millions of people watching this live stream through X, through YouTube, through Facebook, or wherever they had it. There were hundreds of millions of people looking at a video where it showed you who is casted, and they stood there for like 15 minutes to eventually move on towards the next casting. Was it a little boring? Yes, of course, but it did give the audience some room to breathe. Like, for example, when Tom Hiddleston showed up, it gave us 15 minutes to talk about, oh my god, Tom Hiddleston, he's coming back. How is he going to come back? What's going to be his story? It gives us us more room to breathe and to generate more buzz, hence attract more people. And it gives us more room to talk about things, which does engage the audience even more and new audiences. It's very strategic, very smart coming from Marvel. So the interest is there. Marvel know this now. Everybody wants to see the MCU win. You just have to bring in the correct characters. You want to revolve your projects around the big A game players. You don't generate hundreds of millions of views on accident. These are real people and people who are invested into the MCU. So you have to continue to make high quality stories, well-crafted narratives, no rushed projects. If we continue with the same formula, the MCU is going to be back, and Marvel, Kevin Feige, they all know this. So now let's move on towards the roster. I'm going to quickly just run through it because I know that many of you guys have already read it, but I do see a consistency going on here. We do have Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Letitia Wright as Black Panther, White Russell as US Agent, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. We have Yelena coming back, the Falcon coming back, M'Baku coming back, Professor X coming back, Magneto, Cyclops, Mystique, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Beast. The OG X-Men is returning. We also do have the rest of the Fantastic Four returning. Also, their project is coming later on this July. So Mr. Fantastic is coming, the Invisible Woman is coming, the Thing, the Human Torch, they're all returning. Namor is also returning. Sentry is also returning from the Thunderbolts. Red Guardian, Ghost, they're all going to be there. This is where things do get very interesting because when they did end this live session with Robert Downey Jr., many questioned, where is Doctor Strange? Where is Wong? Where is Spider-Man, Hulk, Vision, Star-Lord, Daredevil, Deadpool, Wolverine, Moon Knight, War Machine, Hawkeye, the Eternals? There were so many characters missing. And here's the thing, you may assume that just because they did not announce these characters during the live session that they're not going to be in the film, but I believe that they are. But here's the thing, they're going to be taking a step back in Avengers Doomsday. They will be there, but their role is going to be very small, and it's especially going to be small when compared to Avengers Secret Wars, where they're going to be taking a step up. Also, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Marvel is reportedly not done with reveals for Avengers Doomsday. More of the cast will eventually be revealed. We also do have Robert Downey Jr. commenting on Instagram, and he stated, "That's what you call a deep bench of talent. Actually, it's more like a row, but an extra long one. That must be it, right?" And then Marvel Studios, their account, they have commented, "There's always room for more." So let me tell you guys, it's not the end. There is going to be more, but there is a huge reason on why Marvel decided to showcase who they wanted to showcase on this live stream. And this is going to be my own speculation and my own theory. I could be completely wrong, but just let me know what you guys think in the comment sections down below. I do think that this roster is the multiversal team, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but for like 80% of this roster, they're not from the universe 616. They have the OG X-Men in here. They have the Fantastic Four in here, who we all know is not from universe 616. I really don't think this is going to be our true Avengers team that's going to set us off for the next 10 years. It's just not. Like, these are going to be the main characters for Avengers Doomsday that is going to be recruited by Captain America, Thor, the Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Black Panther, Shang-Chi, etc. They're going to be leading, which is going to be our 616 Avengers. They're going to be saying, okay, the OG X-Men, you guys are part of our Avengers team. The Fantastic Four, you guys are also part of our Avengers team. And they're going to be forming this team mainly because an incursion is going to happen very early in this big story that the Russo brothers are telling. The Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Thor, they're going to be recruiting this multiversal team because they don't have an Avengers team in the 616 universe. But ultimately, at the end of Avengers Doomsday, they're going to be losing. I really do think that Dr. Doom is going to wipe out like 90% of these characters, also signifying in real life that this is going to be the end of all of these characters and they're going to be having a conclusion. Dr. Doom is going to just kill all of these characters, and the only ones that are probably going to make it out is the Fantastic Four, Captain America, Shang-Chi, and the characters that we just know. It's going to be a multiversal team that is just not going to work, and ultimately Dr. Doom is going to win in the end and be seen as like the grand master of the multiverse, right? The savior. I honestly do not know where the other Avengers are going to be at. That is my only question. Like, I have no idea why characters like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Deadpool, Wolverine are going to be taking a step back. That's up to the Russo brothers. We don't know what they have in plan for these characters, but for sure they're going to be taking a smaller role in Avengers Doomsday, right? I'm not saying that they're not going to be there, but they will be taking a small role in Avengers Doomsday, but then to rise back up like a freaking phoenix in Avengers Secret Wars. And that is where they're going to be saving all of the real cameos, the real team with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and so forth. I often even wonder, now that I'm thinking about it, like, why did they separate the characters who are very familiar with the multiverse from the roster that they showed us in the live stream? Because Deadpool is familiar with it, Wolverine is familiar with it, Captain Marvel as well. They know about the multiverse. Doctor Strange, of course, Spider-Man X-Men, of course, Scarlet Witch, they all know. So it's kind of weird, right? It's a little strange how they separated these groups. Makes you wonder what really did happen to them. So let me know in the comment sections down below. What do you think happened to these other characters? They will be there, like what we have discussed and what Marvel Studios are confirming. There is always room for more. Why do you think they were not shown during the live stream? And are you hyped for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars after what Marvel have done here? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.